Hey everybody, it's Connor and
Michael!
And we're from Bullion Now, bullionnow.com.au, selling you the best bullion bars.
And coins!
And coins.
Shipped to you all over the shop.
Worldwide, in fact.
Yeah.
What do we got here today, Michael?
We have an epic buybacking, one that we haven't done for a while. This is actually, technically I'm lying, this is a epic buybackings. It's actually two buybacks in this. Well, yes there is. This is a bit confusing really, isn't it? So let me explain it in total. This is a buybacking, but there is a combination here. We've only got some of the 5 kilo bars because there was 89 5 kilo bars as part of it, which is 400 and something, almost 500 kilos of themselves, just in the 5 kilo bars. Then there's about another 200 and almost 250 kilos in kilo bars, and there is also, and I can't see any right off the top of my head here, but there's also some half kilo bars mixed in here as well. So it's a super epic buybacking of two buybacks, if that makes sense. So it's coming up almost 3/4 tonne of silver in the whole lot, if the rest of the 5 kilo bars were here. So anyone that says there's no silver out there,
show them this. Show them this video. This is just a buybacking. This is not the stuff that's been coming in. So we've had a whole stack come in from Perth as well of kilo bars and kangaroos and all those good things, the normal stuff that we're used to. But we just thought we'd show off, A, that we're still getting silver in. People are still selling it back, even in nice big chunky chunks like this, which are always good. It's a cheap and cheerful way to buy it. When it comes to premiums, particularly larger bars in buyback form. But there's also some fascinating ones in this buyback. So you've got some of the old style AC and Bs. Well, that's an old ABC, that one. I love the shape of some of these bars. So I haven't actually seen some of these shapes, especially that square, that more square looking one. They're really gorgeous.
Yeah, you don't see these very often at all. Oh yeah, here's some other half kilo ones. So these are Golden West refinery. So this is an older style bar. I like the old, these are the old Ainsley ones.
And they've got the groove in them, so why is that groove there? What's that?
It's just the way it was poured. It was the technique that was used by the refinery that was making them for Ainsley's at that stage. But it's actually the thing, I love older bars, and there's not a lot of older bars in this, but there are a few. Oh wow, that's the older style ABC there. But I love some of the older bars, but what I really love is the bars like this. And I know this is a Perth mint. It's a left-facing swan, so it's an old Perth mint. But the ripple lines that you get in them, in some of the pours, they're just beautiful.
You can see exactly what they were like as they were pouring the molten silver.
There was one over. Oh, it was this toned one. So this one has. See the silly things I get excited about. So this one, you've actually got the toning, which I think is fantastic, but you've also got the pour lines, the ripple lines all through it. And it gives character to the bar. It's not just your standard ka-chunk, like cut and paste that they come with. It's like that. I mean, compare the character flaw in the second one compared to the first. These are beautiful, don't get me wrong, but just the character that these ripples and droplets and things create, that's what really floats my boat with these older bars. The old AC and B, you can see the imperfections in here and the way when it poured it must have dripped and caused this rippling as it cooled. And I don't know, silly things like that really get me going.
They do really have quite a gorgeous effect on them. And as you say, there is the standard bar now that looks just super clean. But having the variety and having them side by side is something that I noticed this morning while setting all these up. It was really, really awesome to see the differences in how it's poured and also what happens to the bars over time and how they grow their character. That one's gorgeous. I saw that one and I just put it on top and I was like, wow, that's amazing.
It's funny though in the shop because you'll put two side by side like that and people will go, oh, that bar's ugly. It's terrible. And yet we get other people that go, wow, look at the toning, look at the colouring, look at the rippling, which is where I come from, I suppose. So it's just amazing how different people gravitate towards different, the cleaner lines or the character flaws and that sort of stuff. So that's what I really like about buybacks is the sort of stuff you get in and the different tonings and stuff. So probably enough of me geeking out. The the object of the exercise here was just to show, yes, we're still getting plenty of silver in, both brand new stuff and buyback stuff. This is all buyback, even though some of this Perth Mint stuff actually looks really clean. So you'll see buybacks coming up on the website. If you can't see them there, give us a ring, 1300 84 84 10, and talk to Matt or Sylvia or myself and ask, if you've got any buybacks. You've got to treat buybacks as lucky dips though. Don't say, oh, I watched the video with Michael in it and he had a bar on the left-hand side. It was this big and it was this brand. And they're lucky dip. You get whatever you get. It might be an older style Perth Mint. It might be a brand new style Perth Mint. It might be an old ABC. It might be an old Ainsley. It might be an old anything. It really is just a lucky dip. We don't have time to sort through, and you can imagine how quickly we do sell these. So by the time you view this, there's a fair chance that a good chunk of these have already gone, through the store or through the website or whatever. So, to pick a bar out, it's just not going to happen. So don't expect it. But we do have lots available.
So if you are looking for a bit of silver, come on in. We've got a heap of buybacks, but it is, as Michael says, lucky dip.
And it's the cheapest way to buy it because you're not paying the freight costs of bringing it in from overseas or from Perth or anything like that. It's a buyback. We pay spot for buybacks. So you can already see what our profit margin is if you go onto the website. And we just, they're cheap and cheerful, but they're still a kilo of silver.
Well, thank you very much, Michael, for showing us all this beautiful buyback. Whole bootload almost.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in the next one.
Sounds good. See ya.